Everybody, welcome to another edition of Music Fest Meetup on this Sunday, May 9th. I have a question for you.
Who missed going to rock concerts? Who missed rock concerts? Y'all, you miss live music a little bit, right? A little bit. Me too.
That, of course, is Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters from last night's Vax Live. This is actually a pre-recorded event from May 2nd out at SoFi Stadium, but they ran it last night in support of Global Citizen. Pretty fun, a huge event. I talked about it on this channel yesterday, and first time having 20,000 people, all vaccinated, masked up, properly separated, all the good safety measures in place to be able to have a huge concert in support of really more of the same, trying to move us towards a vaccinated state. And it was a pretty fun event. Would have been fun to see all of it. They only ran like an hour of it, but it's definitely an awesome, fun event. And at that moment right there, I think he sums up what we all feel. Excited to be back and seeing live music. I'm seeing it more in the cities here around Texas and across the country. So very excited about that. And then right after this video, he went on to introduce Brian Johnson from AC/DC, who came out and they covered Back in Black. So if you haven't seen that yet, check it out on YouTube. It was an awesome thing. So in the past week, let's see what's dropped. We've had two lineups, big lineups drop. The first one is the Governor's Ball. We're going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about one other one, and some initial reactions. We'll go deeper. I've got some homework to do because there's a lot of bands on here that I don't recognize, but I want to learn more. So we'll talk about this lineup and another lineup, and then what we're looking forward to hopefully in the next week. So Governor's Ball happening towards the end of September, Citi Field in New York City. They talk about on their site here that they've got a new venue, a new experience. We'll look into that a bit on a different video, but let's just look at the 3 days that they have lined up here. So Friday's headliner, Billie Eilish, not the first time she's been on a headliner. I think she's on one of other, I think it's Life is Beautiful Festival, maybe. So here she is again, headlining the Governor's Ball. Big get there. All these headliners are pretty good. A$AP Rocky, J Balvin on Saturday, and then Post Malone on Sunday, September 26th. So all new modern acts. So if we're grading just the headliners right off the bat, I'd say, there isn't like a major wow factor, like anything you weren't expecting. I think all these guys are super popular right now, obviously, and coming up and trending in the right way where it makes sense that they would be headliners. Nothing out of the ordinary. Some pretty interesting moves on the second lines. We'll call that like the middle management of some of these acts, where you've got Friday, you've got DaBaby, Leon Bridges, Portugal the Man, kind of a deeper cut there. Haven't heard much from them in a bit. Then Megan Thee Stallion, huge year, right? Just killed it at the Grammys. And Phoebe Bridgers, obviously pretty popular right now as well. Seen a lot about her. Bleachers on that second line there on Saturday. Good to see Bleachers getting out. The brains behind Bleachers, obviously a big time producer who's worked with everybody from Taylor Swift and others. So fun to see him back behind the Bleachers band name. And then a lot of these I need to do further study on because I don't know them quite as well. Let's see, on Sunday, 21 Savage, obviously I know. Ellie Goulding, Young Thug, a lot of good stuff there. Carly Rae Jepsen is she's got that big hit, and excited for that. I knew so a deep cut. Looking at deep cuts, the one that stuck out to me is Sunday, second to the bottom line, 100 gex. I only know 100 gex because I have a 14-year-old daughter, and she plays 100 gex, and I dig it. I think it's pretty fun. So I would be like, that's the one thing where I was like, ooh, that'd be fun to see 100 gex at the Governor's Ball. I don't know if that's fair for an older guy to be uh, up for 100 gex, but I totally would. I'm excited about that one. So I'm interested in learning more on this lineup because there's a lot on here. It's the ones you don't know, and then you do your homework and you find out that you love the band and they're in your rotation. So very excited about that. They say limited tickets available. I don't know if they're capping this group or not. Let's see what they're running as far as tickets. $2.99 for 3-day general admission. That's a pretty fair price right there. Just one day is $129. So early bird's already out, and then they've got a couple other. Let's check out VIP already sold out. You know, they're probably limiting the number of folks that they've got in there. And we'll look into. I'd love to do a video where we just talk about the value of some of the higher levels, right? VIP, platinum. You see up here they've got even cabanas for this one, which is pretty interesting. All of them have something a little bit different. So I think we'll do a video later on where we just kind of judge each major music festivals, more, higher price tickets and what the value you get for that. Platinum's already sold out. 2,400 plus fees. So that's some big tickets already going. Cabanas, let's see. Cabanas are for the most VIP of the VIP experience, they say, and they live on the second level of a super high-end structure facing the festival's main stage. So if you're a little germophobic and you're still worried about COVID, this might be the direction for you. And you've got 25 VIPs. Oh man, that's not going cheap at all. Elevated, unobstructed view of the main stage. I wonder what the distance. We would need to check the distance of that. Maybe we can get somebody to talk to us about that. But you get comfortable lounging seating and shade. There's air conditioning in September. That's still valuable. Access to air-conditioned flushable bathrooms. Okay, so you're not in anything that's, I guess the shade would be good enough. And if you're elevated above folks, it'd probably be a little bit cooler. A separate fast lane for the festival entrance could be valuable depending on what time you're getting there. Oh, there we go. Is that it? Yeah. Those look pretty nice. Not bad at all. You and 25 other of your closest friends to avoid the crush down here. Now, of course, will be interesting to see by the time we get to September how many are walking around with masks and how many aren't. So we'll look into that. Oh, you can buy portable chargers. That's interesting. Okay. Take back your power. Charge on the go. Bring your own battery. Swap your bed for a fully charged one. If that's what it looks like, I would probably buy that. That's a pretty cool for $30. I don't know. It depends on how much battery you get out of it. But that's a pretty sweet retro look right there. So that's it for Governor's Ball. I can't say I'm like thrilled with the lineup. I think it's a little thin, but there are some really fun things, and obviously the headliners are pretty current, pretty big time. So I think that's pretty exciting. And again, I'm just excited to see all these are actually happening. Let's go to the other one. This one's kind of, now we're talking to the other extreme. So you see the lineup here. We're about 4 lines deep each day. So not as many stages at Governor's Ball. And then you have the other extreme, Summerfest. Summerfest is so massive. The more I learn about Summerfest, I'm intrigued. It's a little bit different animal, right? So I'm gonna take away. I'm gonna go just AZ. No, let's do images. Images are fun. So the headliners. So this thing goes from the 2nd through the 4th, 9th through the 11th, 16th through the 18th. So 3 weekends long, and you need it because of all the different headliners that they have for this thing. So there's a ton of stages, a ton of performers, a ton just happening, and variety. Like there's country mixing in with rap and alternative, new, old acts. Just in these first few lines alone, pretty good variety in covering just about every decade. And as we go down, you'll see like, I mean, we're going all the way back to the 70s. I think 70s is far back. I think I see Styx down in the bottom. Styx would be a 70s group. Miley Cyrus just performed Saturday Night Live last night. I was like impressed by her voice. I can honestly say I haven't listened to a lot of Miley Cyrus, but I was kind of impressed with her Dolly Parton cover that she kicked off with. I thought that was pretty good. Then you've got down just some other headliners. You've got Run the Jewels, Wilco. I'd be thrilled to see Diplo. Very cool. Pixies. So now you're talking 80s. ZZ Top, obviously. Rise Against Fits and the Tantrums. I love. 311 from the 90s. So that's a big one. Dirty Heads. I don't know as much. When you're getting Shaquille O'Neal as a DJ, you've got a lot of stages. You've got a lot going on. I think that'd be pretty cool to watch Shaquille O'Neal. My brother actually does vehicle wraps, and he did one of Shaquille O'Neal's cars just recently, and said he's an awesome guy. So very cool. There's Bleachers playing at this event also, which we were talking about. Black Pumas I saw here in San Antonio a couple of years ago, right before COVID. Almost, I think it was like the month before. And they're amazing act. Amazing. I love them. You see Goo Goo Dolls. Let's look down. REO Speedwagon. So there's a reach back. T-Pain. Ludacris. Jonah Jett. There's some bluegrass mixed in. The Struts, which is more of like an alternative, fun, glam rock kind of alternative vibe to it, which is really cool. Nelly, OAR, Cold War Kids, I love, seen them a bunch. Tank and the Bangas, love them. Jai Wolf, I don't know what this means. Jai Wolf DJs, because that's obviously not Jai Wolf. So Mizio is very cool. Jesse McCartney is huge, blowing up. Styx, Styx we were talking about. Mizio is a fun act out of Austin. I hope they're going to be at ACL Fest this year. They're a ton of fun. Candlebox, George Thorogood, still looking good, still making it happen, which is cool. Drive By Truckers, very fun. Everclear, is that 90s? I think Everclear is 90s. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Now, for those of you not old enough, he had the Fresh Prince, also known as Will Smith. That was them together. So I'm not sure what DJ Jazzy Jeff is going to do. It would be awesome if Will Smith is like, I'm tired of being in my home too. Let's do this, and joins them. But who knows? Speaking of old school hip hop, Sugar Hill Gang, Psychedelic Furs, massive artists out of the 80s. Very different genres. Blackberry Smoke, a kind of a southern rock feel out of Georgia. I mean, this goes on and on. Look at this. I'm just going to keep scrolling. I'm going to stop for a minute because Sheila E. opened for Prince on the Purple Rain tour. And the Purple Rain tour was my first concert ever that my mom took me to. So Sheila E., for all intents and purposes, was the first live concert I ever really saw. And then, followed by Prince for the Purple Rain tour. So cool to see her. The Revolution, the band that backed Prince, was at ACL Fest just a couple of years ago. So that was awesome. It just goes on and on. I mean, you could literally. We're gonna look further into how they make this work, because it is ton. Living Color, saw them a few years back. They still sound amazing. Fishbone, so cool. I mean, if you miss live music and you need everything that you lost through 2020 up to this point, this would certainly refill that bucket. JD McPherson is an awesome kind of throwback sound. If you haven't heard of JD McPherson, check him out. Very cool. And then Shiny Ribs, additionally. And then I think they've got some other spots where it's just they're, they got more to come. More to come, because they they've got a few open spots. I don't know how to find that, but where they've got some question marks. I think they're still teasing it out, because apparently they have 1 million stages. I'm excited about it. It's happening. It's early September, so that shows a lot of confidence to be able to pull something like this together and make it happen. Tickets? How much are tickets? Let's find out real quick, and then we're going to close this video out. So they've got a bunch of different kinds. Multi-day passes start at $57, which is amazing. But you can get... Oh, wow. I went down a rabbit hole. I think it might be hard to explain just how hard it is just to tell us. There we go. So you got a power pass, 6-day pass, $75. Are you kidding? A 3-day pass for 57. Yeah, so they got a lot of good deals going. So that's it. I'm going to stop it from here. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Please subscribe, like this video. We'll have more coming, and I'll break down some of these festivals as they get closer as we go on. I'm looking forward to hopefully hearing something from ACL Fest drop this upcoming week. And until then, I hope you stay safe and take care of each other. Thanks.